to get my back blown out in peace. You think I got time to talk about a divorce that's a year old?
What if the perfect love story was a complete lie? Teyana Taylor just leaked disturbing claims about abuse, betrayal, and side chicks. And the internet is on fire. Was Iman hiding a dark side this whole time? Stay locked in, because once you hear what Teyana revealed, you'll never look at this couple the same again. Teyana Taylor and Iman Shumpert once had the ultimate ride-or-die relationship in the public eye. From music videos to reality shows, they built a brand around being raw, unfiltered, and real. They flexed their love on red carpets, shared sweet moments with their daughters, and praised each other on social media. Fans believed they were proof that love could survive the spotlight. But now we're learning that behind all the glamorous moments were shadows most people couldn't see. It started with whispers, just little things here and there. Teyana hinting at flexibility and boundaries in their relationship. That was the first time fans heard something that didn't fit the fairy tale. She brushed it off like it was nothing, but those who paid close attention saw something shifting. Soon, rumors of an open marriage took over social media. Some thought it was modern, mature, even sexy. But when cheating accusations came out, the whole idea started to unravel. Multiple women came forward saying they'd been with Iman while he was still with Teyana. Not just flings, but full-on relationships. At first, Teyana didn't say much, but people noticed her glow dimming. In interviews, she didn't look like the same confident woman fans admired. Her smile felt forced. Her eyes told a different story. Behind the scenes, the trust between them was crumbling. They were still showing up together in public, still acting like everything was fine. But inside, everything was falling apart. Then came the posts. They weren't direct, but they didn't have to be. Teyana started dropping emotionally heavy messages online, talking about manipulation, gaslighting, and being dragged down by someone who refused to heal. She never named Iman, but the timing said it all. These posts came right after a popular IG model posted a cozy picture with Iman. That was the trigger. The dam broke. One line from Teyana stood out. Protect your kids from the same trauma you're healing from. That shook people. This wasn't just about cheating anymore. It was deeper, darker. Sources close to her said she'd been keeping quiet for years. For the sake of her daughters, for Iman's career, for peace. But the peace cost her everything. She was breaking inside. And now she had nothing left to lose. Screenshots began to leak. Alleged DMs between Iman and other women. One woman said he had anger issues and used intimidation when things didn't go his way. The messages dated back to when Teyana was pregnant. The betrayal ran deep. What looked like a strong, edgy celebrity love story now felt like a cage. And the woman who once defended it was now revealing just how much she had to survive. At first, Iman didn't say much. There were no grand statements, no public denial, and no direct acknowledgement of what had gone wrong. But the silence didn't go unnoticed, especially not by fans who had been following the couple for years. What started as a quiet withdrawal quickly became louder through subtle digital moves. One of the first things people noticed was that Iman had unfollowed Teyana on social media. In today's world, that's not just a click, it's a message. Then came the cryptic posts. He shared vague quotes about people playing the victim and needing real peace. To many, it sounded like an attempt to reclaim the narrative, to paint himself as misunderstood rather than accountable. But the internet wasn't buying it. People weren't just skeptical, they were angry. The quotes didn't offer clarity, they only added fuel to the fire. Fans saw it as deflection, a way to shift blame instead of owning up to what had really happened. While Iman tried to keep his statements abstract, Teyana's circle started speaking out more directly. The people closest to her, those who had remained silent for years out of loyalty, finally started lifting the curtain. Her mother, known to be fiercely protective, reportedly urged her to stop hiding and start healing. There were whispers of past incidents, moments that nearly became public scandals, but never did, because Teyana had always been the one to step in, to manage the fallout, to protect Iman from scrutiny. She had played the quiet peacemaker for years. But that era was over. She wasn't covering for him anymore. Her silence had cost her too much. Emotionally, mentally, even artistically. And this time, she was choosing herself. Even among Iman's friends, the energy shifted. Some who had once posted about their brotherhood or shared photos from double dates began deleting those posts. Others just went quiet altogether. And in the entertainment world, silence is rarely neutral. It speaks volumes. No one had to pick up a mic or tweet their stance. Just their absence was enough to show where their loyalty stood. Behind the scenes, lines were being drawn, and most of them were not in Iman's favor. Meanwhile, the internet completely exploded. Some fans expressed shock, saying they never saw it coming, while others insisted they'd noticed cracks for a while. "We saw this coming," they tweeted, as TikTok detectives launched full investigations into the timeline of their relationship. One video in particular went viral, an old interview clip of Teyana mid-sentence, pausing, her eyes suddenly going blank. "That's the moment she broke," one user commented, and thousands agreed. What once seemed like a simple hesitation now felt loaded with meaning. Fans began analyzing every clip, every public interaction, every facial expression through a new lens. Everything that had once looked picture-perfect now seemed tinged with quiet pain. Twitter quickly turned into a battleground of theories, speculation, and impassioned opinions. As the news of the split between Teyana and Iman continued to circulate, people took to social media not just to react, but to investigate. Some fans were convinced that Teyana had been dropping subtle hints for a while, signaling that all was not well behind the scenes. They pointed to lyrics from past songs that suddenly felt more personal, more confessional, when heard again in our light of the situation. Interviews that once seemed lighthearted were now being dissected frame by frame, with fans noticing a shift in her tone, a change in her posture, even the silence between her words. To them, it was clear. Teyana had been trying to speak, even if the world wasn't ready to hear her. Others focused on her last album, claiming it had a different energy altogether. Some said it lacked the depth and passion of her earlier work. It felt rushed, as if something had been weighing her down emotionally, making it hard to give her all to the music. There were discussions everywhere, from pop culture podcasts to long Twitter threads, delving into the dynamics of their relationship, questioning the challenges of fame, the complexities of open marriages, and the emotional labor often expected of women in the public eye. A handful of voices rose in Iman's defense, calling out cancel culture and claiming he was being judged too harshly without knowing the full story. But that minority was quickly drowned out by a growing chorus of support for Teyana. People said she had stayed quiet too long, absorbing the pressure, the gossip, the weight of keeping it all together. Now, they argued, she deserved the space to speak her truth, on her own terms. Instagram also became a timeline of their relationships unraveling. Fans began sharing edited videos and photo montages showing the progression of the couple over the years. These posts began with glamorous shots from red carpet events, where they looked inseparable and full of joy. But the transitions in these edits were telling. Soon, the smiles faded and the chemistry seemed to disappear. Clips of them at events where they barely made eye contact or stood stiffly beside each other circulated widely. It became hard to watch those old clips without feeling like you were seeing something entirely different now. What once looked like a fairy tale romance now appeared carefully curated, a polished image that hid a growing emotional distance. Now, the only question left is, what's next? There are whispers about legal matters, rumors of a custody battle, speculation that Iman may soon go public with his own side of the story, to try and sway opinion back in his favor. But Teyana seems to be moving on with purpose and clarity. In a recent photo, she was seen in the studio, eyes closed, headphones on, completely immersed in her craft. To her fans, it was more than just a behind-the-scenes moment. It was a message. She's taking back her voice. A new album might be on the way, one that tells her side of the story, honestly and unapologetically. And this time, no one else will be telling it for her. There's also quiet chatter about a documentary, maybe even a sit-down interview, a full-on tell-all. People don't just want to hear snippets. They want the whole truth. They want to understand what happened behind closed doors, what it really looked like to be a woman managing fame, motherhood, and a relationship that was breaking her down. And if Teyana chooses to speak publicly, it won't just be entertainment. It'll be something more meaningful. It could ignite a bigger conversation about what abuse and emotional exhaustion look like in high-profile relationships. About the kind of hurt that doesn't leave bruises, but still leaves deep scars. About how easy it is to hide behind curated posts and celebrity smiles, while privately enduring things that no one should have to bear alone. Iman's path looks uncertain. He might try to repair his image, or he might stay quiet and wait for the storm to pass. But the public has already chosen a side, and in today's world, public opinion is louder than any press release. This isn't just about a breakup. It's about the pressure to keep up appearances, the damage done by silence, and the courage it takes to finally walk away. Teyana is reclaiming her narrative. And whether you've followed her career from the start or just tuned in now, this moment is unforgettable. So what do you think? Is Iman hiding something deeper? Or is this a case of a story with two sides? Let us know in the comments. Hit that like button if this shocked you. And make sure to subscribe, because this story is far from over, and you won't want to miss what comes next. Stay alert. Truth always leaks.